Matters Friday. I'm Jeremy Torres, your host, and we come here every week and we talk about the people who need the help the most. It's not the drug addicts or the alcoholics; those are the guys having fun, throwing up their breakfast at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. But it's the family members of these people who we're here to help. And today we have a very special guest in studio, James Henderson, coming over here. He's here visiting from Naples because we have a chapter meeting. We're part of the Florida Speakers Association. James is my mentor. He's been the president of the Florida Speakers Association in the past. I'm the current president, and everything that I have to do with this chapter in this association, even on the national level, is because of my mentorship from him and everything he's done. But James, over in Naples, is an associate pastor with Celebration Beach Church, the largest outdoor church in America. He's been there 17 years, over 5,000 attendees on most Sundays during the season. So welcome.
Thank you, Jeremy. It's great to be here, and it's going to be a wonderful program. I've had an opportunity to talk with our other participants. It's going to be amazing, and we'll get a chance to really reach in and talk about the real things that the other family goes through.
Yeah, the impact. That's kind of what I grew up with. I forget the name of it. This when you're a kid and you're the parent, right, from a very young age.
Right.
So I watched my parents struggle with all this addiction for so long. And my aunt Kathy, for example, she was the one that was kind of the matriarch of our family because her mother was an alcoholic, my grandmother, and my mother followed that footsteps. And so this program was not around for her.
Right.
And so she just struggled. And then later her daughter died, Samantha, from a drug overdose, like my brother died. And these things they cycle. There's not a family in America that hasn't been hit by it.
Yes.
And for this program, what do you think? Maybe to somebody who's struggling with getting those calls and like what's that part? And you counsel people, but you also have some firsthand knowledge too.
I do. We're lucky right now because my son,
Anthony,
who was my victim for a number of years, my son is right here. He's standing right beside me. But my son was my victim for a while
because of your choices,
because of my choices, because things that I couldn't handle, because things I chose to do that were detrimental to not just me, even though my mindset was, who am I hurting? Well, not hurting anyone but me, without looking at the rest of my family, the rest of the people that were trying their best to support me, but didn't know how in one sense. And in another sense, I just wouldn't let them.
Right. And I think that the common misconception is, and from, I have it from both ways, but for the most part, the drug addict, the alcoholic, the partier, professional partier is out there in life. And okay, who am I hurting? The family's at home. Well, that you're not there is one impact. But also when you come home jacked up, not thinking that you are, not thinking they could tell, not having the patience, not because you're tired, because you partied too much, not having the emotional consistency. So you're up one day, mad the next day. I mean, all that stuff over time, it adds up. And so I know I was the beneficiary of a lot of that. And so these kind of programs, that's really where I think it benefits the people, is where it kind of opens them up to say, I'm not going to support. And then you had a line, I stole it. I'm going to use it. And this is credit number one. You can love them to death or you can love them to life. And no matter where you are in that equation, you're supporting your loved one.
Yes.
For the most part, 99 times out of 100 times, you are going through the journey with them, being hijacked emotionally, being hijacked financially, with your time, which is everyone's time is limited. And you think you're supporting them, but you're really carrying them to their death.
Exactly.
And so
I think one thing, and let me just state this. I think one thing when we look at if someone is an addict or someone is an alcoholic or someone has a issue, we always look at the extremes because that's just who we are. I went to work every day.
Yes.
I went to work every day and I worked hard. But then my family came fourth, fifth, sixth, or seventh behind that. So sometimes we say, well, if we walk up on someone and their family says, well, he's an addict, he's having a problem, then we say, well, he's still got a job.
Right.
He's still working.
Functional.
He's got a nice car.
Yep.
So sometimes those people fall between the cracks because as a society, we say, well, he's functioning, so he can't be that bad.
Right.
But that's really not the truth. I still held my family hostage every single day,
Yeah.
even though I was going to work every single day. So we have to really be sympathetic and empathetic to those people
Right.
who are the family members and the supporters. And a lot of times that's an extended family. It's not just
Not the
your wife and your kids.
It's the loved ones,
It's
the people that love you,
ones that love you,
Yep.
the ones that care about you, your friends from church, the people that are surrounded you, your guys from back in the
Yeah.
day that really want to help you, and they don't know how. You're holding them all hostage because they care about you.
Right. And I'm one of those guys too, where I wouldn't say I was an alcoholic or a drug addict, but if I did 2 of anything, I would do 13. And so it didn't matter what day it was, and it didn't matter how many days it lasted. But
One's
I never
too many, 1,000's not enough.
And and I said I never missed work, and the family was all taken care of. But my wife, for many years, was walking on egg crates and eggshells, they call it, because they don't know any little things she could say would set me off, because of it all takes its toll. You know, maybe the part that how I don't sleep, I still don't sleep. You know, but from years and years and years of living such an extreme life, up and down, even though it's never depended on it personally. That's just a stroke of chemistry, right? Because believe me, exactly. I did enough stuff to choke any horse. Okay, when your drug dealer says you might want to think about slowing down, and I go, I don't even have a problem, man. I
got an issue.
I never miss a day. I got a new truck, you know. Yeah, there's a sign. But through whatever, we're here, and then we find people like Dr. Melody and Ron Bacon, who've created this program. Really, the first time I've ever heard of. Have you ever heard of this program that helps other family members, not the addict, like this, where it shows them signs? And
I have seen programs that are like that. I mean, Al-Anon is obviously the basis for starting that. But I think one of the things that, after talking to them earlier today, I think one of the big things is being able to convince those family members that it's not a bad thing for them to get help.
No,
it's not a bad thing for them to reach out, even though it's James's addiction. It's James's addiction. It's affecting me. He should be the one that's getting help. But if I'm being held hostage, I need someone to help me rescue myself.
And then, but for most addicts, they have tried help 10 times, 9 times, 8 times. So they've tried, but it's a giant killer. So if you can go online in the privacy of your home and have access to these tools that these people have put a lot of thought and resources into, and then we're building a community as well. So then shows like this, I foresee this show in the next couple of months, building the viewership where people on Fridays can call in. I'm going to have the phone hooked up like I did on my old show, where we can share stories, and this will get longer and longer and be a regular thing. So right now we're in its infancy and we have to crawl before we walk, but having people like you here to help share your story, and especially in front of Anthony. Anthony, you want to say hi to everyone? Yeah, you can turn the hat around even. Look at this. Let me bring in James. We don't know. I mean, Anthony, we don't know what
yeah, he even turned his hat around so he can say hello.
But this is who is impacted, right? Because obviously you did a hell of a job, or his mom, but both of you turned it around in time, because I see the love and the respect and the joking and that kind of stuff. And I'm lucky enough to have my son in the next room over there here. So we are 2 very lucky people for what we've done.
You know what I think? You know what I think the biggest thing is that obviously my mom and his relationship wasn't great for a long time, right? But we both gave each other enough grace, to be able to move from where we were, to where we are now, where we do things for each other. We help each other out, and so. One of the biggest things is we don't have to accept what that loved one who's the addict, that loved one who's the abuser, we don't have to accept what they do.
Right.
But it helps us when we're on the other end if we can give them some grace, because it allows us to begin to start to heal.
Yeah.
Because we're not fighting that thing that says, I wish I could do that for him. I wish I could show him. I wish I could. Whatever it is that we're willing them to do, because we're not going to will an addict to do anything. My mama couldn't will me to do anything.
Right.
His mom couldn't will me to do anything.
Right.
I had to do it on my own. The same is true, and it's unfortunate that as a supporter, you have to be in that position. but I'm not going to will you into doing anything.
Yeah.
But I need to take care and protect myself. And the things like the Family Matters program are
Right.
an opportunity for me to sit at home and talk to people who have done lots and lots of research, has done lots and lots of one-on-ones, and they've talked with lots of people. They've been
Right.
able to get a lot of background information, and from home,
Right.
I can sit there and get the support that I need, and that's very, very important.
Yeah, it's true because it's 24/7 job when you're in a relationship or in the orbit of an addict. And the good thing about this is it's an online resource that's always up. It's always on. You can look at it. It's got videos, workbooks, and everything. Again, the community we're building, we have direct lines with Dr. Melody and Ron, but it is a living document. Once you pay once, so let's say there's a family of four, and it's $400, something like that. Stupid for both modules. I keep telling them to raise the prices, they won't do it. So I think it's under $400 for both modules, but it's a lifetime membership, and we keep adding to it. Me and Michael Jordan's 7 rings. You know how many
Right.
we done. Same with the course, Dr. Ron and Melody and myself. But no, they keep adding. They're going to Vienna for the next 3 weeks with a bunch of students, and they're going to come back and put more things in there for from what they learned. So this is always going to be getting better. And you can just go, listen, I'm going through this right now. You go to your videos, go to the books, read something about it. Yes, next day we're all online. You start chirping out. Now you go to work the next day and you have some clarity, right? Because that's another thing. You're not productive when somebody keeps you up all night and you just don't have it's running through your mind and you don't sleep well. And that adds up too. So I think there's just so many hidden benefits. We're just scratching the surface because of my relationship with these people.
And you used a great word, clarity, but I think the best and biggest word there is peace.
And peace and serenity is their
That's
words. So
peace and serenity.
you're right. That's their words. For me, when I chose clarity, is because I am just so professionally focused. But in life, back when I had my kids were younger, that is what I wasn't that way, and that peace and serenity would have been the driver.
Yes.
And so I think we're going to be growing this channel. We're going to be growing this platform, and we're going to be growing these relationships. So anything as we land the plane, because I like to keep these relatively short and interesting before we get too boring and drone on. But
The last thing I would say is there always comes a time when you need to take care of yourself.
yes,
You need to take care of yourself. And if you have a family member, if you have someone that you're close to, someone that's in your orbit that has this problem and it is affecting you, take care of you.
yep. And then you can take care of them in a different way, in a more healthy way. My friend, I don't use that word lightly. Thank you. All right. And we'll see you guys all next Friday for Family Matter Fridays. Thank you for watching.